Sunshines will shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. So you know I'm gonna stick it out till the end. Now that it's raining more than ever.
This is just a panel. One of the groups I like to try to attend to, try being the key word there, because of theater I usually don't get to. The group's called the Atlanta Gallifreyans, and they run pretty much the brick track at Dragon Con. And they run Timegate, which is a Doctor Who convention in May. This was their, a little bit of their panel called Timey, Wibbly, Wobbly, Timey, Wimey, and it was all about just the David Tennant years. So yeah, enjoy.
Doctor Who panel. New series, not old series.
And if you haven't figured out why we need the panel
because it was cool at the time 3 years ago.
Well, yeah, but it still works.
It still works.
It's better than an hour with Star Trek. I mean, you know.
So unfortunately,
Hey, we work on our titles.
David Tennant's last few months.
Yes.
Sad too.
Until the moon.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
No, it hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed, so it doesn't qualify as a spoiler. Right. Well, of course.
Oh, Russell's denied so many things.
Russell says he's straight.
He denied that Russell denied that he had ever even met Kylie Minogue when everybody was saying, "Oh, she's already signed the deal to do." And
yeah.
He's a big liar.
He doesn't watch the same thing.
And he runs with Sisters the Bastard.
That's right. But you know, it's interesting is because the Tennant years are winding down, and you know, it's been a long time, at least for me as a fan, and I'm sure we can all go through this, since we had a doctor leave. I mean, Eccleston leaving was great, but he wasn't there long enough. And we got cheated with McCoy and McGann and Colin. So it's really been probably since Davison, since we got to properly wind down a doctor with a certain sense of like melancholy and sadness and at the same time excitement about a new doctor, because every other time the doctors come in, there's always been this sort of unbalanced, what's going to happen next, we don't know what's going to be with the show kind of thing. So it's kind of an interesting time for the show. So we'll see what happens.
Good point. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Whatever, just something that's been
Tennant-ish.
Tennant-ish.
I have to say, the Moffat stories.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God, Blink. It's freaking brilliant. Yeah. And it's the first Doctor Who story ever that's actually given me chills. Yeah. Just how creepy it is.
I sell it on Cafe Press on my website.
And yet it's brilliant. You know, just the logic of the whole episode. But you see that also in Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead. I loved that two-parter. I thought it was excellent. And even in
Can I just say people need to watch that before they watch the finale again and just leave that at that?
yes.
Okay.
But even in the
Library.
what was the one we call that?
Fireplace.
Yeah. Girl in the Fireplace. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yes. In fact, I just watched that episode just before I came to the convention. Really? Oh, yes. I mean, not for the first time, but just again, oh my God, I loved it.
The great thing about that episode too is it's one of the few occasions where us and the French track agree on an episode.
Exactly.
Yes. I'd have to say my highlight for having him as the Doctor is the comedic elements that he brings into various episodes. The Scooby-Doo bit to this day cracks me up every time I watch that episode. It's just, and I think that it wasn't planned, that he just kind of just threw it in. Is that right?
Which Scooby-Doo are you talking about?
The
When he
non-Doctor
makes a Scooby-Doo reference, or he made the Ghostbusters reference. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. And
He made a Hitchhiker's one too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Christmas episode.
And how like he's, you know, as a doctor, he's very aware of the subculture that is around Doctor Who, that's outside of it, that feeds it. And I think that that's really, really interesting and also exciting because it's unexpected every single time. Like he makes a little quip, and I really appreciate that about his characters. That is the sense of childlike play that he has. That I think that has made me grow to love him and have him definitely in my top 2 favorite Doctors.
Don't forget the Lion King reference.
Yes,
Oh my God.
That was so great!
Brilliant.
So basically what we have here is a character who has traveled from the beginning of time to the end of time, and
Only makes
things that he wants to remember are the Lion King, Scooby-Doo,
Well,
Ghostbusters, and what was the other one?
Harry Potter.
Harry
Well,
Potter.
I mean, it makes perfect sense though for the Doctor if he's an Earthophile, for him to like pop in and go to a movie.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he only makes those depending on what companions he's with at the time. So he's only with 20th century girls anymore.
Well, and a lot of those, what was it, like 2 out of all of those that we've mentioned were with Rose. Which come on. I think that by far is probably what has made me grow to love him.
I love that he because Tennant is such a fan of the show that he'll even reference episodes that he was in, like The Poison Sky, when the unit colonel puts the gas mask on and says, "What do you think?" The doctor goes, "Are you my mummy?"
That was script though. That wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is kind of scripted.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's still.
He was a genius. I love that. Love it.
I think my all-time favorite Tennant moment is in School Ties when Sarah Jane sees the TARDIS and she's backing up. I talked about this last year. School reunion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where the hell did that go? Brandon Fraser.
Yeah.
Never mind. Same thing. Anyway, she backs up and sees the TARDIS. She goes, "Hello, Sarah Jane," in this sort of like pertwee inflection of his voice.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh my God, I actually got shivers.
Even rewatching it every time.
And then there was one time last year I kind of got it almost the same way as well. But the thing is, it's interesting is that when he was talking to Davros, that was pretty great
Oh my God.
as well.
Yes. Sarah Jane talking to Davros.
Yeah. And the thing that's interesting is when he sort of has this face of like bewilderment that works, and he has this face of like, oh, look at me, I'm pretty great, I did this, but it doesn't come off looking like arrogance, like it would have maybe with Colin when he said, oh, yep, I'm right, and he worked really well in the frame of a historical story, which I think is very important for the series too, which I like.